Welcome, y'all. Welcome back to Village in the Streets. We are the Black Flames. I am Dr. Griffs.
My name is Bam, and welcome back to the channel for another video. How you doing, Dr. Griffs?
You know, I can't complain. I did some DJing this past weekend, and it went pretty well. I think the clients were happy. So, life is good. Life is good. Nice. And you, man?
Yeah, life has been going pretty good. Just been kind of like, I want to say coasting, but I just been like working at my job, and like so far I recently asked for a review from them, and they're like, no, everything's been going good and everything like that. And I'm like, all right, cool, you know what I mean? So like everything's been going good on that front, trying to balance out working, being a good employee, and doing YouTube. And it's just been fun. I want to get into more extracurricular stuff, like doing some MMA, maybe doing like not like MMA in terms of professional, but like go to like an MMA gym to like learn how to like fight and get that conditioning, and maybe do a Spartan race in the future. I don't know. I'm just trying to do a lot more stuff. I just want to be a lot more busy.
What do you want your schedule to look like?
I kind of want it to be packed. I would like. Honestly, I think my ideal would be like have a packed schedule where it's just nothing but stuff I enjoy doing, or stuff that like I enjoy doing for the purposes of self-growth, and maybe having like 2 hours. Maybe having 2 hours of just free time, like 2 hours just like if I want to watch a movie, or if I want to play a video game, or if I want to catch up on some anime that is not for a live reaction. That'd be great. And then have 8 hours of sleep. Awesome. And maybe 1 to 2 days in the week where it's just like a free day. I think that would be ideally a great schedule for me. And so I'm trying to work towards getting that. But I don't really like having too much time in a day where it's just nothing happening. Because I feel like I tend to get very irritated when I'm just sitting there like bored with nothing to do, and I'm like trying to figure out what should I do. I'm always looking to be more productive, but like I know I need to take time out of my day to just cool down and let myself recharge. So it's like that's why I'm like 2 hours in a day just to like cool down and not think of anything, and then 8 hours of sleep just to fully recover. That sounds ideal for me.
So the rest of the 14 hours is work or work.
Yeah, but I've been like, it's like I don't know how the quote exactly is, but it's the idea of like, if you find something you love doing for work, you won't feel like it's work. Like you won't work a single day in your life.
Yeah. I heard that for you, bro.
Yeah. So I'm trying to. I know it's not the most realistic thing, but I'm trying to get my schedule, get the work I'm doing to be more in line with what I would see myself liking to do. So even though it's like a full packed day of stuff to do, it's like things that like I look forward to doing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
For that quote, when you mentioned that quote, it made me think of some like mangaka, manga artists.
Yeah. I think it's called mangaka. Yeah, they're called mangakas.
They clearly love their work, their job.
Yeah. You definitely know they have to love it. They definitely have to love it.
But to say that this is not real work, some of them got like back issues and just all types of health issues due to that work. Or even me with DJing, I do love DJing, but my body just doesn't really vibe that well when I do it. So I get the quote, but I think it's also I believe in something called radical rest.
Radical rest. So, break that down, bro.
I heard it somewhere. I did not. This is not Dr. Griff's quote, but I heard radical rest somewhere where you gotta be really intentional about resting. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to rest. It's sometimes radical to make a decision. Like I will just chill out today. I'll just watch some things. I'll just watch my favorite shows. I'll watch my favorite characters and get to know them. But if you have 2 hours, right, out of your schedule to just watch something, what would you watch?
I would watch my go-tos. If there is something Marvel or DC related, something superhero related that I haven't watched yet, like say for example a movie came out, or or a TV show came out, I'll usually go to that first. I'll usually go to that, try to catch up on that because I'm a big Marvel fan, and then I like DC as well. But then afterwards, if there's nothing else, then I'll see if there's any anime that like I've been meaning to watch, see what's out this season. When Attack on Titan comes up, that's probably going to be the that main thing that's in that time slot. And then after that it'll be like checking to see if there's any video games that like I would like to check out and play. Or just go for a walk in the park or something. Just like be one with nature, or like call up a friend that I haven't talked to in a while. Yeah, kind of like that's my time where it's just like whatever I want to do but doesn't have anything to do with progression in life. That's the time to do it. I also like, it's interesting with scheduling is like when I was watching a video about like how to construct a productive schedule, right? The first thing they said to mention in the schedule is put time to rest and recover first. So it's like, don't even put your work or your job or going to the gym first. Like put how much time you think you need in a day for recovering and for rest. And that might be a very important thing to do. So sometimes I don't follow it to the T, but I try.
And we are no type of specialists in anything. I guess we only specialize in living our own lives.
I like that.
Yeah. But back to media and shows, right? So what type of shows, or how can I ask this whole time? Great transition to start the episode.
Yeah.
But you saying you like watching some anime.
Yeah.
Which protagonists stand out to you the most? Why you like them?
In anime or manga?
Anime, manga, shows, and Marvel movies. Like I feel like the Marvel movies are all kind of the same, are they not? Like at least the characters or the
they all follow a similar theme and connection. I think to stay in line with the theme of what we're talking about today, I think the character that stands out the most to me right now is definitely Batman, right? Like I feel like Batman for one he's a very interesting character because I feel like how he looks at the world is strongly informed, not based on his advanced intellect, but based on the morality that was created by the trauma that he experienced, right? So it's like Batman has explored the world, he's mastered multiple languages, he's interacted with multiple different kinds of people, he's mastered every form of martial arts, every way of killing somebody. He's mastered every form of, self-defense and killing people. Like he's a top tier, the highest peak of what a human potentially can do in one person, right? But one thing that I think for a long time that a lot of comic book readers and a lot of people that watch Batman media will like point out is that Batman, he doesn't kill people. Batman does not put anybody down, right? And to me, as a person watching it, there's some people that if Batman put down, I wouldn't be against that. I wouldn't be against it. Like if we put down the Joker, if we put down Penguin, if we put down Scarecrow, there's certain characters that you're like, I get you not putting him down the first time you catch him, but the eighth time you catch him, like there's something off, right? There's something off there. But the reason why I feel like Batman does it is not because he logically thinks it's the right thing to do to not to kill the Joker, for example, right? I think it's because he's so traumatized by the idea of death that he can't even fathom doing that. Like the fact that like somebody took away his family from him is like he became so adverse to even the idea of being anything like that person. He's like, I'm not going to do it. Because logically, I could see Batman still being a good person, putting down these characters. You got to realize, like, all right, if you catch a Joker one time and he's killed like 50 people, hey, okay, Now, if you catch him a third time and he's killed 150,000, 800, killed that much more people, you gotta start doing the maths. Like, hey, is the world a better place with this person not in it? And you have the power to make sure they're not in it. I know, but that's just my thought about it. What do you think?
Have you seen the anime movie Batman Under the Red Hood?
Yes. I agree with the Red Hood. I agree with my boy Todd, bro. I agree with my boy Todd.
There was a claim that Batman made in the movie. He was like, you think I haven't thought about ending him? I thought about all the different types of ways I torture him and end him. But he was like, I'm afraid that if I do that, I won't be able to stop. That was his one point. And second point was that something worse might come after him. I get what he's saying, but I think there's certain characters, like a Gon from Hunter x Hunter. Gon gives people 2 chances.
Does he really give them chances? Alright, break that down.
There was, when he was first learning his John Ken?
Yes.
He let the guy, the exploding powers, he gave the guy 2 chances. I've got 2 chances, but he was like, hey, if you come over here, I'll give you my card, and we'll be okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He went over there, hit him with his throat, and John's like, okay, alright. And then next time he got him, he just, punched him to death.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He died.
Yeah, he took him out. For sure.
He took him out. The second time was kind of with, like, he was talking to somebody, and he was like, "Oh, I was hoping that you would betray me, so I would feel no type of remorse." I think the third time was with Pito when he was like, "Yo, save kite," and she was like, "I can't." He's like, "Okay, well, that's all I needed to hear." But I like Gon's ability to just be like, "Yo, I'll give you a chance. I give you 2 chances." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think I like characters with that grayness to them. Like I was watching a video looking at L versus Light. Yeah. And how L was able to sacrifice people to capture Light.
Yes.
Not necessarily the best person, but in these circumstances, he had to do what he had to do.
Yeah, true. Like the thing about with L, I like how you brought up those characters. Is like L is like he's like, as long as I'm within the law, I'm gonna do whatever I want. Well, Kira's like, I'm not in the law. So like L is like, no, you are not smart enough or strong enough or capable enough to dictate the morality for everybody. And L's like, yo, I'm a smart ass person, but I'm not going to dictate the morality for whole society. Right? You're crazy for doing that. But he's saying like, hey, listen, this guy was already on death row. He's going to die anyway. Might as well put his life to some good use, That's L is like very utilitarian in terms of that perspective.
It makes sense. It definitely makes sense. I'm not mad at it. And I think I appreciate characters with that flexibility a little bit more, versus, my code of honor. So I mean, there's something to appreciate about that too. Like Sanji. Yeah. When he just doesn't hit women. Yeah. I feel like that's cool to see that throughout the story.
He just stays consistent on it. Yeah.
Or he doesn't use his hands to fight and everything like that. So if he ever wavers, it's a big moment if you're following the story. So I appreciate if they're gonna not do it, they not do it. You know what I'm saying? What do you think?
I think it's about priorities for sure. I think in the case of Sanji, I think it works because his captain is Luffy. Like Luffy's not the type of person that cares if you can or can't do something. Like he has Usopp on his team. Like it's like he's the type of he's like, hey man, listen, you have to violate Usopp. I'm just saying, like when you really think about like Usopp's role on the ship, especially since we got Frankie.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like he's a sniper, but yeah. But with Luffy's like, hey, listen, as long as you got good vibes And like, oh snap, Sanji can cook. Like, are you able to cook? Like, yeah, I got you. I'd say less. You know, it's like he's not expecting Sanji to like, yo, Sanji, I need you to beat that brothel of women over there to get some information. He's never going to order Sanji. He doesn't even order anybody around. He's just like, hey man, go wild, do whatever you want. You know, it just so happens that whatever people wants tends to work in Luffy's favor. You know, so I like Luffy's morality because it's kind of like you remember when Luffy, people were calling Luffy a hero, and Luffy's like, no, I'm not a hero. The heroes have to share their meat. I'm not gonna do that. I love how Luffy's just like, I'm gonna do what I want, and he follows his moral compass. He doesn't care too much about like what the world's got going on, or the world government, or like what other civilizations got going on. He's like, yo, I see injustice here, destroy it, you know. And I think I like that in heroes. I like that aspect of, oh, you see something wrong with the world, but you're not hindered by it. You know, like you see that, like Luffy has that feeling of like, oh, I see what's wrong with the world, or I want to do something. I see what's wrong with the society. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to break it. I'm just going to break the society and let people do what they want to do. You know.
Do you follow any like Wolverine comics?
I don't. You know, Wolverine is actually one of my least favorite characters in Marvel.
Yeah.
Like legit.
Why?
Yo, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just like I don't find his character really that interesting. I find other characters around him interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like I find like Dr. Xavier is mad interesting. I find Jean Grey interesting. You know, the one character that's more interesting then is like Cyclops. You know,
their powers, or it's like what they stand for, like what makes these characters more interesting than Wolverine?
I think it's like their whole backstory. I think the whole backstory and their abilities. I think Cyclops is just, to me, every instance I've seen of Cyclops, I've been like Wolverine. I'm like, all right, I like the gory parts of it. I like when he gets into combat, like when we see like the comic book fight between him versus the Hulk. I think that's a very intense, crazy fight. But in terms of like him as just like a character to stand alone, I'm not gonna read a standalone Wolverine story. It just doesn't click with me.
Did you watch like the X-Men movies or the Wolverine movies growing up?
Mm-hmm.
So you watched the Wolverine?
I watched it, but I didn't. Like I watched it, but I didn't like. It's not something I'm gonna save on my shelf as a Blu-ray. You know what I mean?
No.
You had X-Men. You had X-Men 2. You had X-Men Last Stand. You had X-Men. You had Wolverine Origins. You had a Wolverine game that I played.
You had Wolverine in Japan. You had Logan. You had like
Logan. Logan was an interesting movie. But I think it was interesting because he was losing his powers, and I wanted to see like how would he deal with that, you know. But it was like, to me, I'm not saying that Wolverine's not an interesting character, but he's a character I care the least about. Like I care more about Nightcrawler than I care about Wolverine.
Wow. You think you know someone, and then you hear how they feel. Okay. Now I brought up Wolverine because I feel like I feel like I really don't know what his morality is, but I feel like if you get in his way, it could be over for you.
Yeah. Wolverine's like death is an option.
Yeah.
Like, and you think about his abilities, it's like, how can death not be an option?
Yeah, he was literally designed for deleting people.
Yeah, it's like you can't have your powers and be like, all right, safety's on. Like you can't just throw your claws at somebody and expect them to walk away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I just wasn't expecting that hot take about Wolverine.
I don't know, guys. Let me know if I'm wilding about, because I just don't think Wolverine's that interesting of a character to me. Like from his powers, from like his origin, really. It's like, it's cool that he's been through a couple wars. It's cool, but I don't know. It just doesn't hit too much for me in terms of like what he Wolverine to me always feels like he's just there. Like he doesn't really stand for anything in particular. You know, he's one of those people that's like, oh, like if I known you for long enough, and I'm cool with you, then like yeah. But that's kind of like every other person in life. You know, every other human being will be like, yo, this is my friends, this is my family, I care about them. But he's not standing up for something. He's not standing up for like all of mutant rights and stuff like that. He's not standing up. You know, he's not as interesting as Magneto, whereas Magneto's like, yo, revolution for my people. You know, and then Xavier's like, yo, we Martin Luther King energy, like we gotta work together with it. But I don't know, he just doesn't stand for anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think about just characters you really vibe with?
Mm-hmm.
Like moral, ethical level, what do you think?
I think I really vibe with All Might from My Hero Academia. It's like definitely is implied that All Might's intention is not to kill anybody.
Yeah.
Right? But when you throw a United States smash at your worst enemy with all your power, listen, bro, you don't throw that with the intention of like, yeah, that person might survive this. Like, you don't throw 100% of your power with the intention like, yeah, he's probably gonna walk away. Like, that's not the thought. You know, it's like, I think with a character like All For One, it's like, I think All Might saw that character as like, yo, we gotta put him down. Like, All Might literally punched this man's whole face off. Punched his whole face off to the point where he can't even regenerate. Like, you don't throw a punch like that with the intention of him walking away and him chilling in prison for the rest of his life. You know, so I feel like All Might is inspirational. All Might he aspires to always be there for everybody in need. And I mess with that. I feel like it might not be the most healthiest for a person because you've put a lot of pressure on yourself to protect everybody. But in terms of just the aspect of a hero or a main character moving through life, I think that I kind of mesh with that. I kind of work with that. You know, there's another character I really connect with. I don't know if you watch Gurren Lagann. All right, Gurren Lagann. Not Kamina, but Simone, the little kid that was with Kamina. He kind of grows up and adopts a lot of these similar personality traits from Kamina, but is in a lot more of a grounded form. Like, he's a lot more ingrained with reality. He believes everything is possible, but he's like, you know, we need the right resources. We need the right time to happen. Like, he believes things are possible, but not like right now possible. You know, so I messed with Simone because there was a pivotal point in the series where humanity was being suppressed by this galactic force, right? Because the galactic force was like, hey, we don't like the idea of living organisms being able to evolve, because evolution, based on their calculations, will lead to the end of everything, right? It will like eventually reach a point where people evolve to such a high degree that they keep wanting more and more and more and more until you know, the universe just implodes on itself, right? So they suppress humanity to the point where they put a restriction. So the world is not allowed to have more than 1 million people above the surface, right? And so, you know, Simone and his group end up breaking through the underground and end up like restarting society. And, you know, you have humanity reaches a point where we get to 1,000,001 people. And so, you know, they have the whole system in place where they have these alien structures come about saying like, yo, we about to delete this whole planet, we about to destroy y'all because we told y'all like 200 years ago, no more than 1 million of y'all people should be up here. And they already had a person called Lord Genome that was there making sure that humanity doesn't reach that point, but Simone defeated him. And so instead of Simone saying like, all right, let's retract, let's pull back society, Simone was like, nah, let's go over to where these galactic people at, let's build a spaceship and go over there and delete these people. And that's what they did. And I love the aspect of it because it's literally just a feeling of, oh, like you're definitely going to lose, but it's like, nah, let's keep going, let's keep pushing. And it's almost like every time they kept pushing, someone in the group found a way to just like, all right, I'm going to just pull more out of this situation. I'm going to keep grinding out more stuff so that you can keep moving forward. And I don't know how much of that is like a moral thing, but it's like the idea of like he became so invested in the idea of humanity having the freedom to keep growing and evolving that it didn't matter what restrictions were available. He was just like, nah, we gotta keep creating this. And he reached a point where he met up with the big boss of that alien people, and he defeated him. And then the alien person, you know, like he kind of like was defeated. He knows he's about to die and everything. He was like, yo, we were just trying to do our best. You know, it's like it happened to us before. You know, like our society kind of fell apart because we kept on evolving and like we just kept on taking more and the resources kept on going away. And so we felt like this was the most important thing to do, like for the existence of the universe. And then Simon was like, yo, don't worry about it. When we get there, we'll figure it out. And then my guy said, all right. And then he just like, you know, passed away. And then, you know, the series kind of ends at that point, right? But it's kind of like having that idea of like, yo, this is so important, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out at the end.
Oh, Glenn Lagan. We have a wide spectrum of, you know, knowledge. In fact,
is there a certain character that you like morally connect with?
Yeah, I was thinking, I like Sokka.
From
Avatar: Last Airbender.
Okay.
Because if you think about Sokka, he's like one of the most realistic people in multiple ways. He has no powers. He's one of the characters who has no powers, so he's realistic in that sense. There's nothing necessarily extremely amazing about Sokka. He's a tactician, but he's not.
He's not the best tactician. Yeah.
No, he's not. Even in the verse, there's people who are smarter than him. But you know, he comes up with some good ideas. But I feel like what I like about Sokka is he's willing to use people and give people chances. Like realistic chances. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like with Zuko. Yeah.
Yeah, Zuko came. He did not trust this guy, understandably. You know what I'm saying? But then Zuko helped him save Suki.
Yeah.
To survive. And he's like, yo, he's good in my book. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a realistic thing. He's like, yo, I ain't trust him, but he helped me here. He proved his work. What else can I say? You know what I'm saying? Aang was asleep for 100 years. There's a weird boy in an iceberg with a tattoo on his head. Get away from my sister. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You burned my sister's hands. What is wrong with you? Like
he's very balanced. He's very like, yeah. The way Sokka sees the world is kind of very in line with how a regular person would probably see the world. Yeah.
I don't know. I think Sokka is like, and you know, he was with the Fire Lord. He was like, well, it is what it is. You know, and you gotta go for the strike. Sokka just makes sense. He just makes sense. So I think Sokka is someone I like. And I think also Shikamaru, they're kind of similar in a way.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing like Shikamaru has the whole, shadow possession jutsu. But in Shippuden, that doesn't really. Yeah, it's not really.
Yeah, that's like a low tier ability in terms of you're not catching Madara with the shadow possession.
Madara, you're not catching pain. Like in terms of ninja skills, Shikamaru is on like lower tier. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but he's a genius though. He's genius level. Like he's playing 4D chess with everybody. Like it's
yeah. And I feel like I like Shikamaru because you know the way he did the Hidan versus Kakuzu fight, had Hidan take out his own like partner's heart and everything. Like those are like Shikamaru. Yeah. I think I like rational characters that tend to be smart and tend to just be like, you know, their morality is in a grayish spectrum.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Like their morality has room to evolve.
Yes.
Like how Sokka was kind of like, you know, for all intents and purposes, season 1 very sexist. And then he went to Kyoshi Island, and he was like, "Oh, wait a minute, these girls could do stuff." Yo, I was like, "Oh, I gotta humble myself to it." And even when for like season 1 and 2, he's like, you know, basically racist to firebenders. You know, it's like, nah. If you from the Fire Nation, there's no negotiation, there's no communication. We don't need to talk about it. Like Fire Nation, not. But then he spent season 3 in the Fire Nation and started interacting with all these different kinds of people, and you see Sokka's like hate for the Fire Nation just he's like, so to the point where it's like, yo, dang, I know you a pacifist and everything, I know that's part of your culture and stuff, but the Fire Lord though, bro, it's like, it's nothing personal, he just gotta go, like he just gotta go.
like it's just
hey,
I'm sure Sokka knew Aang could bend energy out of people. Probably, that's a good idea. You know what I'm saying? But that wasn't proposed to Sokka before.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like if Sokka knew that Aang could energy bend and take away someone's bending, he'd be like, "Oh, all right, if you could do that, go for that." But you know, if that doesn't work, the old.
I mean, even his son said to get rid of him. Like, Aang, what else do you need to hear?
yeah. Zuko's another character that has. Oh, and we're kind of coming close to the end of our time, but Zuko's another character that has that.
Yeah, it's probably our last one. What you gonna say about Zuko?
Oh, I was gonna say Zuko. I think is one of the characters that has the best progression in terms of how he sees the world and his moral compass and stuff. Because I think fundamentally, Zuko, he always felt like he was doing the right thing. I think fundamentally he always felt like he was doing the right thing. Of course, he had some anger and aggression stacked on top of it. But I think from the point in time where he kind of grew up in the Fire Nation, like the Fire Nation always kind of taught him that like, yo, Fire Nation supremacy is the best thing for the world, right? So you even see it like when he sits in to talk with the different government officials that are planning attack. He's like, yo, this strategy is kind of wild because you're kind of putting our people in danger. Like, why would you put the least experienced individuals to fight the Earth Kingdom? And then he hears their strategies like, oh, we're just going to sacrifice them so that we can like get the leg up on them. He's like, yo, do they know they're going to be sacrificed? Like, why would you set our people to get sacrificed? And you know, that starts off with Zuko's like fall from grace, where he, you know, gets into a fight with his father and stuff like that. But Zuko, from the point in time, he's always felt like he was doing the right thing, and so I feel like that's why his transition from becoming, I guess, the villain to the good guy was such a volatile thing for him, because it's really hard to break down that feeling of like, yo, I've been living my life right, but you're telling me that I'm a bad person, but I'm not a bad person. Like, this is the right thing to do. And then Uncle Iroh and everyone around him basically saying like, yo, bro, you're wrong. And so like he had to deconstruct everything. He had a whole fever dream and he had to go bald and everything, yo. Like he had to like just deconstruct, you know. He had to deconstruct everything that he was taught. And come to the realization that like, yo, I may be a good person, but I've been lied to my whole life.
All right, and on that point, we'll end it right there. We're trying a different thing. We're just making some shorter videos, and hopefully, you know, y'all like it a little bit better. But if you want a whole analysis on Avatar, I think we're pretty good fans of Avatar: Last Airbender and some Korra.
But yeah, guys, we thank you. Korra. Thank you, guys. We appreciate you guys watching this video. Like the video if you liked it, comment if you have any thoughts you want to share, and subscribe if you want to see more. So that is Bam and Dr. Griffs signing out.
Peace.